When warming up, beginner trumpets tend to make some consistent mistakes that make them play not as well, or they tire more quickly. This video will help you in giving tips on how to play just that much better in most aspects of trumpet playing. The trumpet is a brass instrument that makes sound through air. A lot of the problems we have in trumpet playing are due to air problems, most of which can be solved with more air. This does help a lot according to me, as I am able to play and sound better when I use more air. When you're tired and you need to play a high note, instead of pressing your lips, remember to use more air. Sometimes I forget to do this, and then my note sounds very thin and sharp. You may have heard of tensing your diaphragm when playing high notes. This does help in getting a strong and steady airstream to play higher notes instead of pressing your lips too thin. While this is futile when you're tired, you should still do this as much as you can to build a habit, as you will sound better when your lips aren't very tightly pressed. There isn't much to say about valve fingering when it comes to trumpet playing. It's normally quite obvious that the more you practice, your fingers get attuned to this and just play more different scales, and to get used to all sorts of fingerings and going through different notes. That's always good to improve your valve fingering skills. But then also a common mistake, even I do it, especially when I'm playing very fast notes. I sometimes go like this, using these spots of my fingers when ideally I should be using my fingertips. This often happens on fast notes, and that's probably because I'm trying to maybe I don't know what note I'm playing, and so try something until it works. Instead, keep your fingertips on your valve fingerings. It's much more precise instead of doing this, and sometimes you may forget to do this. Happens to me all the time. Just remember that this is not going to help you. It makes it much worse, and it's just because you're trying to just play randomly or just maybe luckily hit the right notes. Another way to improve is your embouchure, and your embouchure is quite important, and it is important to develop it as well. So normally beginners, it's not only the embouchure, but it's also your lip muscles, because they get tired quickly, and so it's really hard to focus on the embouchure much. Just to know the basics of putting your lips in and then being able to play a note. But once your lip muscles get stronger, you're going to have to think about your embouchure more, because a bad embouchure is always going to affect your tone, and then later on how tired you get, and so on. Your embouchure isn't the same each day, and so one of the ways to deal with embouchure, I think, the best way is to play low notes. Because when you're playing low notes, you have to really try to keep your lips as loose and open as possible. And what that does is that gives more air to your notes. And then when we play high notes, we do the exact opposite. And we should be playing our high notes like our low notes. That's why I suggest playing low notes during a warm-up. That's going to improve your embouchure by a lot. And at least it'll give your embouchure the correct position, because your lips don't always have the memory, and so you may start one day warming up and start playing the trumpet and your lips are just too thin, and so playing a low note kind of reminds you your correct embouchure. When it comes to improving the tone of your notes, what you can do is have more air in your mouth, so make your mouth bigger, like having hot food in your mouth when playing the note. What this does is it allows your note to have more air while not changing the velocity of the air too much, and so you get a more fuller sound, and that can improve your tone by a lot, and so you'll sound better. Remember that your lips are muscles, and if you want to expand your range, you need to try to play high notes as much as possible. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to destroy your lips, but that does mean that at least in your warm-up, you always test your entire range, at least to comfortable notes, and then maybe try to go a few notes higher than what you can comfortably reach. that's it for this tips video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.